What is going on, people? Today we're going to talk about how to start an online business step by step, plus give you the framework to start any business. Now, one of the things we want to do is to separate who this training's for and who it is not for. If you're looking for a situation where you could take a course and there is a predetermined outcome, meaning, hey, take this course and you could do Facebook. Hey, take this course, you could do YouTube. Hey, take this course, you can do Instagram. It is not that type of course. Just to be clear, it is the framework for anyone to start an online business. Let's say you want to sell cupcakes. This framework will help you. Let's say you want to start an auto detailing business and get customers online. This will help you. If you have a t-shirt concept, this will help you because there are certain common elements that are part of every successful business. Many of these elements are ignored. Many of these elements are not talked about. Many of these elements are people are just kind of clueless. First of all, audience. Your audience will make or break your business. Your audience. It's just that simple. Let's say you have a product that is tuned in to your audience, but the product is not the best product. There are other better products on the market, right? Well, guess what? This product that is more in tune with the audience is going to sell more of it than a better product that is not in tune with the audience. Give you an example. How many of you have seen on YouTube people with channels that have literally blown up? They have a crappy camera, the audio's not good, they're not following any of the YouTube best practices, but their channel is just boom, it's blowing up because whatever content they put out, their audience is very much in tune to that content. When I first started here on YouTube in 2009, I didn't even have a real camera. I shot in SD. SD is standard definition. I was like, why do all my videos have these black bars on the side? Because I didn't even know that I needed to shoot in HD, was the 720, 1080p, 2K, and 4K. I was clueless. So with that standard definition camera, and it wasn't even a real video camera, it was a Sony CyberShot, I had managed to make millions of dollars with that setup. No lights, no fancy camera, nothing. But my message was early. My message was before the audience, and I'm going to explain that really clearly. When I was in the storage auction business, I knew that there was a lot of people who would benefit from inside knowledge. Did I know how many, which would be the audience or market size? Did I know if that market was growing or dying? No, I did not know. I took an educated guess that once people understood that if you could buy a unit for $10 and you could sell that same unit that was bought for $10 for 300, 400, 500, 600, 2,000, 60,000, 100,000, the people would get excited. So by starting my YouTube channel in 2009 and having a 14-month head start on all of the other stuff, the channels, the shows, on my old blog, Urban Pack Rat, members of the shows would comment on the blog because I was early. I was before the marketplace. I was a front loader. I had front loaded content before the marketplace came in to absorb that content. And it was such a sudden and quick move that when people came to the internet, they found me. I literally had this market to myself for a solid 2 years. It was a beautiful, beautiful thing. So, we'll talk about that. But you got to understand, is your market growing or is your market dying? You have many people who will launch a business. They will not do this market research, and they will launch a business into a market or category or audience that is dying. And regardless of how hard they work, regardless of the things that they do, they're just not going to make this business successful. It's not going to be successful. There's this book, and I'm going to try to find it because I'm going to keep talking. And it talks about, I don't know how many of you are old enough to remember the Suzuki Rocket, Crouch Rockets, these very fast and sleek motorcycles. Well, there was a certain group of people that bought those motorcycles. And when the number of those people dwindled, the sales evaporated. Hold on a second. Let's see. Yeah, we're on wheels. Oh, well. I will have the sun in my face for quite a minute. But that is the importance of your audience and your marketplace. It is super, super important. Now, one of the things that, and we're going to focus on that. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and show you the framework. Okay, cool. We are in here. I'm still working on this, but we're going to do audience first, second, and third, concept, execution. We're going to talk about holding company, set up an operating company, set up traffic, organic, email list, set up in segmentation, traffic paid. That's a duplicate, testing, and payment. There'll be a few other things. These are the main bullet points because what I'm going to do today, starting today, because I'm going to work on this all day, is the audience section. And the audience section is hands down the most important part of this. You can, like, you see it in everything. You see it on YouTube, you see it on Instagram, you see it on Facebook. If you have a product, a service that is in tune with the audience, I don't care if you do everything else sloppy. My presentation was sloppy when I started with making money A to Z with self-storage unit auctions. I had to write that book 3 times. I got screwed on the editing. There were so many things that happened that I assume, because I don't know, but I figured I left about $2 million on the table because I was sloppy. I didn't know what I was doing. There was no one that told me how to use a YouTube channel to promote a book. No one had ever done it before. So it was all brand new. And this is one of the things that you are going to get from this course. You're going to get information that is not theory. And let's talk about that. There are a bunch of people who have information, and there we go. It's all theory. They've never done it. I remember years and years ago, this girl, she was good on Facebook, she was good on Instagram, and she was good on Twitter. Then she wrote a book about how to do video. And incidentally, video was her worst category to be in. And she wrote a book about it. And I was like, that's not looking really tight there. So we won't have any of that. What we will be talking about is how to start an online business with this framework that I just showed you. Because excuse me, the audience is hands down 90% of your success or failure. And no one's ever told you that before. They was like, you got to have the right thumbnail. You got to have the right topic. I look at YouTube videos every day. And I see people who are not doing YouTube the YouTube way. And I look at what they are doing. There's a guy, actually, I'm going to show it to you. He does not do YouTube the YouTube way. He does it his way. And make sure that I get in here. All right, so let's see. Matt Della Vella. Okay. All right. So here's this guy. And his channel was 18 months old. Now, this is very interesting. He interviewed Gary Vee. And I will like say, go ahead and check it out, because This is hands down the most different Gary V video or interview you will ever see. It is, I mean, Gary's not screaming, Gary's energy is contained. Now, the reason that Matt was so successful was that Matt was a filmmaker and he made documentaries for years before he came to YouTube. So he knew how to use cameras, but more importantly, he knew how to tell a story. He knew how to edit. He knew how to put together videos. And just so many little things. Like if you want to learn how to do YouTube on a different level, just go ahead, subscribe to his channel and watch what he does. Just look at what he does. Like I'll give you one tip that I was thinking about following, but I may not follow, is he wears the same shirt in every video. Doesn't say anything. He just wears the same shirt. And the reason that he wears the same shirt, because now that I am hip to it, is his lighting and color grading can remain consistent. Like this wall, he picked this gray wall for a reason, because that works with his color grading. And when it switches over back to Gary, you will see. And you can learn so much from this guy. And he doesn't do YouTube the way that YouTube's supposed to be done. 18 months, he's got 53 million views, and he only has 266 videos. So this is one of the things. This is one of the reasons that I've made a lot of changes in how I do things, is because you can win on YouTube, you can win on the internet, you can win on Facebook, you can win on Instagram. You could do by creating and following a certain framework that many of the people who are saying, do YouTube this way, do Instagram this way, you can get past all of that if you go back to this framework. In the audience section, which, like I will say again, I'm going to finish doing this live stream. I'm going to go have breakfast, then I'm going to come back and I'm going to work on that. This is what today is devoted to: audience, first, second, and third. Because I don't care if you're selling cupcakes. I don't care if you have a mobile detail. I don't care if you run a trucking business. I don't care if you're writing books. If you do not nail and dial in your audience, you will not be as successful as you could be. You just won't. And that's one of the things. And the audience, or the demographics, as the old school marketers call it, is so pivotal to your success. Like, how many of you knew that the first thing you should do before you start any business is sit down and go like, okay, well, we're going to make this widget. How many people are going to buy this widget? Where do they live? What do they buy? What do they talk about? How many times are we going to have to expose our widget to these people before they buy? No one's ever told you this, but this is the way that very successful businesses have done it for decades. Decades. And I'm going to make a prediction here. And I've said it before, but you're going to see many big brands create their own influencers and put these people under contract, because, like, take BuzzFeed. A lot of the early BuzzFeed people left, then they created their own YouTube channel. Then all of a sudden they just blew up because they got exposure on BuzzFeed's dime. And when they left, they were already an internet personality. So their channels just blew up. So what brands are going to start doing is creating their own personalities and have them under contract where they can't go out and do their own thing. Because you've seen it. You've seen what happened to most of BuzzFeed's early producers and content people left and started their own thing. And that's what people are going to do. But that's a whole nother video. But we're going to get into a lot of this. Now let's kind of go over this. We're going to do audience, which is today. Then we're going to do concept and execution. After you've done audience, and I'm going to beat this into your heads. Do not move on to step 2, step 3, step 4 until you nail in your audience. Matter of fact, let me give you another example into the gloss. Okay. Now this is something. All right. Emily Weiss, she actually launched this blog as product research. She worked on this blog for about almost 4 years, figuring out what women liked, what they didn't like. And then she instantly took all of her data, went to a venture capitalist, and got $1 million check. And here we are now. Glossier valuation. All right. $100 million round. Oh, wow, this is very timely. All right. Glossier raises. This means that venture capitalists have bought $100 million. They've said, here's checks for $100 million, and we're going to buy a piece of your company. Now, Glossier valuation. Glossier found it. $2010. So she rolled into the gloss 2009, 8, 7. And let's see, it's Emily, Nick, Axel. So it was 3 people that founded it. But they have become a $1 billion company in less than 10 years. Which kind of goes back to what I'm talking about. Because when you go here and you see this, it still took her 7 years to get to millions of dollars. 7 years. And this is another thing that we're going to talk about with this course. And understand, if you are a person who needs money now, there's plenty of quick money hustles, plenty of information, plenty of training under the video for you to start your business if you don't have a lot of money. If you're going to start a real business, I gotta run from the sun. If you're going to start a real business, you are going to have to spend some money. Now, I'm saying that because there are this channel, which is almost 10 years old. I started for $282. In my 3rd year, I crossed $1 million in revenue. But I was not a typical YouTuber. Before that, I had ran a brick and mortar business with a heavy internet concentration for 10 years. So I came to YouTube without YouTube-like skills, but my business skills were top level. And that's the reason that I've been able to make a full-time living from YouTube since early 2010. This is all I've been doing in some shape, fashion, or form since 2010. It's 2019. And if you've been watching the channel, you see it's gotten better and better and better and better. This is what we want to do for you. But you've got to come to the table with some realistic expectations. This whole, I'm not going to spend any money. I'm going to learn everything on the internet for free, and I'm going to have $1 million business, is, for most people, 100% pure fantasy. It's never going to happen. How do we know this? On this channel, we've talked about the numbers. 72% of Americans don't make $50,000 a year. If all of this free information, all of these videos were going to help you, why are so many people poor? Please answer that comment. Please answer that, because there is conjecture, there's how you feel, but there's math. And the math says that the free online internet model is not working for most people. Some people were really smart. It could. There's some people who could give you you give them the concept and they're smart enough to figure it out. There are other people who need so much more. So much more. All right. So just give you some examples of the importance of audience. It is crazy important, because if you don't, seriously, I'm going to show you another one. Yeti. All right. This Yeti coolers founded 2006. This is they do like 500 million a year. They've been around 13 years. They got into millions of dollars, I think, in year 4. And this was started by two guys in college who just wanted a better cooler. 2006, Yeti is founded by Roy and Ryan Siggers in their father's garage in Dripping Springs, West Austin. So this is a Texas company. Just go back and read the stories of these companies, and you will find out. I'm going to give you another one too. So 2006, so it took them 6 years to get to the point where they got bought out by a private equity firm, Cortec. So that was their liquidation event for these two guys. So 6 years, they went from nothing to multimillionaires in 6 years. Now, their audience was college students. And how did they know the audience? They were college students. Also, I'm going to take 1-800-GOT-JUNK. Founder. Get out of there. It took him 8 years to make his first $1 million. Now, this isn't, year 8, he made $1 million. From year 1 to year 8, collectively was $1 million. Now they do $1 million a day. It takes time, people. This is why I'm being very careful. This is why I'm being very strategic, saying that if you're in a situation where you don't have a lot of money, this course isn't for you. And when I say not a lot of money, when you're in the point where if you were to come off the $249, that would cause a financial crisis in your life, you're not ready for this course. Because essentially, once we start going through everything, it's going to take you a few months to get your stuff ready. And you should not, once again, you should spend as long as you need to on the audience section of building your business. Because if you don't, it will come back to haunt you. So let's see. Are we still in the sun? Very bright. All right, so that's okay. Cool. Just checking some real quick. All right, so this is what we're going to do. Under this video is a pre-sale link. And the pre-sale link is for people who want to buy in today. And this is how it's going to go. I'm going to do the audience section today. That's my mission today. Then, and before we get into all these other sections, right, I'm going to put down the audience section. You're going to review that. And then Sunday, we're going to have a live presentation to answer your questions. We're going to do this course very differently than I did anything else. Because, first of all, you got to have something to sink your teeth into. And then you got to get into some practical steps on how to achieve it. Because as long as there's as long as we're on the audience section, and I'm building this out, you can probably get in for the pre-sale price of $249.99. That is a one-time price for this course. In time, the price will go up, and depending upon how lengthy it gets, how much content goes in there, because I have some stuff sketched out, but there may be more, and if there's more, the cost will go up to be more. But if you want to be part of this, just go ahead, buy the link, and as of now, there's nothing there. There will be something there, before 5 p.m. today. Probably sooner than that, since that's all I'm working on today. And then Sunday, we're going to have a live webinar about what you've learned. We'll be talking about things you've probably never heard, things that no one else talks about on the internet, because everyone is trying to move so fast. Everyone is trying to build something so quick. And I've just shown you a few examples of businesses that were not built quick, where all of the founders are multi-millionaires. You can hustle your way up to 50,000, 60,000, 100K pretty much online for free information. But once you want to get to the high six-figure mark, which is like 500K, 700K, 800K, and then when you want to cross the seven-figure mark, you're going to need additional training and additional skill sets. I'm not going to argue with anyone. There are many people who think they can learn all this for free, but once again, I'm about to show you this thing. What? Here we go. Hold on a second. Make sure I get this together. Here we go. All right, I'm just going to put this right here. 73% of the country does not make $50,000 a year. 73% of the country. Let's do this. 75. 86% of the country does not make 75,000. Let's do this. 8% of the country, 92% of the country doesn't make 100K. %96 of the people in the country do not make 150. Now, why do we talk about 150? You go through this course and you work. And let's be really, really clear like what work is. You don't skip over segments. You don't move ahead. You don't like, well, I'm going to go through this real quick so I can get. No, that's not work. That's just speeding through the course. That ain't going to help you. If you do the work, probably within 4, depending on where you are, to 7 years, you could be making that from your business, which will put you ahead of 96% of the people in the country. And you go ahead and you nail it down, and you can be there in 10 years or less. Then you go exceptional, and you know it's just 1%, because after you get past 250, like 280. Let's see, 290. Oh, so this must be up to 300. Wow. A lot more people are making more. There we go. So once you get to 350, you're making more money than 99% of the people in the world. Notice I said world. And this is something I believe most people with the right training can do in 4 to 10 years. Once again, I'm going to keep stressing this. You're going to go through this course. You're going to get the proper framework, but it's going to be incumbent upon you to do the work. If you do the work, and if you follow these guidelines, you follow this framework, at a minimum, say you're an absolute failure, you should do 150 in 4 to 10 years. And that's being a failure. All right? Because I've looked at this very long and hard, how I was going to set it up. And it's very, very interesting now that I'm really here. All right, so let me answer a few questions real quick. Let's see what people are. And I'm going to close some of these windows. because each window I open up kills my bandwidth. Let's get that down. And it shouldn't be killing it. It should not. All right. Let's see what kind of questions we have here. If anyone has a question about the course, speak up now, forever hold your peace. Davida, I have an online store and it's working for me. I paid for advertising. Awesome. What's up, the blind and Buddha? What's up? Tired as we learned the hard way. Josh Barr. When is Michael Stanley running court? We're not going to do phone sales. When we get to traffic, organic traffic, and paid traffic, let's say this is how we will do phones. You will have an online property that's making you money, and then someone's going to see your content, and then they're going to call in. Now, that kind of phone sales, yes, but you just cold calling. Can it work? Yes. Is it the most efficient way to get customers today? No. All right. Planning, what's up? 89 Dr. Funk, if it was a free template on how to make $1 billion in 7 years, people wouldn't do it. That is funny. True. All right, I'm looking for questions. Well, no, the Blind and Buddha free products never really give you the full breakdown of skills on how to achieve the next level. It's free. You think, because the thing is, there's so many people who have done this. They have, all right, I'll just stay here. They have started helping people on the internet, and the more that they help and the better information, the sooner that they were gobbled up by the internet. And it's like, wait a minute, I'm sitting here answering questions. I'm on the phone answering every comment for free. And this is like a full-time job that I'm making no money. Who's going to keep doing that? Very few people. What's up, AKW Beats? Aaron, how's the training laid out exactly? All right, let's go here. And I think I need to make this bigger. Hold on a second. All right. So this is what we're going to work on. And you may need to watch this a few times because I'm not going to go all over that again. But the first training is audience. This is the non-sexy stuff that will make you money. No one talks about this except other marketers. You need to nail down your audience or your marketplace or your demographic or whatever you want to call it. That will be the first thing that we'll work on. We are not going to go past that until you have a full-fledged out methodology on how to filter and set up your audience. Because I will say it loud and I'll say it proud. If you get this wrong, I don't care if you do everything else right. You will not make money. Or you won't make as much as you can. Once again, I had a hunch. It was an educated guess because I was inside the storage auction business, that once people found out what they can get and how much money they can make, that it would sell. And this educated guess was correct. But I was in a different place. I mean, you know what my real goal was? My goal was to make $50,000 a year and then write the great American novel. That was my plan. Oops, didn't happen. So then after we get past audience, then we get into concepts and execution, which is your product or service. Depending on what you're trying to do, and there's going to be many different levels to this. Let's say that you need $1 million to come up with your first project. Your audience is going to be super important because when you don't have $1 million, right? So you're going to have some serious data, not educated guesses, but data to sell to someone with $1 million. And it once again goes back to your audience. You cannot, like Emily Gloss, she was able to get $1 million check after 4 years of research. Let me say this again. 4 years of research. All right. Then we're going to get into holding company setup and operating company development. This is very important. You're going to set up a holding company. And now you're going to set up an operating company. Let's say your first go around doesn't work. You're out here, you're trying to make money and it didn't work out. Your audience, you mistimed something. Well, you're going to have your holding company already set up, and you're going to set up another operating company under that holding company, because let's say it takes you 2 or 3 or 4 years to get things set up the way you want. Your holding company is 2, 3, 4, 5 years old. And when your holding company gets to, say, 7, 10 years, you will be able to do some very interesting stuff with that. Then we're going to talk about traffic, organic, because once again, it goes back to the audience. If you don't know who your audience is, you can't set up your organic traffic. Let me say this again. If you don't know who your audience is, if you don't have them dialed up, this is going to be hard to achieve. And email lists, setup and segmentation, talk a lot about that. And paid traffic. If you don't know what your audience is, who they is, you can't do paid traffic. If you have no clue to who your audience is, you can't do paid traffic. You can go spend $100, $1,000 a day on Facebook ads. You won't get any results. So you absolutely, with organic traffic, you get kind of a little leeway with your audience because it ain't burn the hole. But with paid traffic, if you don't have your audience dialed in, you're going to waste a lot of money. Then we're going to get to testing, and there's a few other things, because last night Teachable was acting a fool. So that's how the course is laid out. And after you go through a module, then we're going to have a live Q&A session after the information is already put there. What's up, people? 89 Dr. Funk, is this course part of the monthly payment plan of Hustler's Life Skills? Nope. You guys included. What I'm going to do, there's this new module, right? And let me explain how I'm going to do it. I'm going to create a separate module for people who are not on the monthly plan, and they can go in and get it. Now, for the people who are on the monthly plan, I'm just going to add this to income metamorphosis. So you'll just get it. It'll be there. You'll like, okay, so the information will go in income metamorphosis and then also go on a new tier. This way I can have somebody come in and, I don't have to boot people out. I don't have to cut people out, because the people who are coming in on these separate modules, it's a completely different container. Whereas the people who are paying monthly, it goes into income metamorphosis for you. And sorry, how does your course compare with Ty? Who's Billy G? I'm going to say it doesn't compare with Ty and Billy G, because unlike those two, I have made money in the real world with a real business. There ain't no comparison. None whatsoever. And I don't even know who Billy G is. Gardner Brown, going to be in Canton, China on vacation. If I wanted to gamble $5,000, what product should I ship back? And I'm in sure. I couldn't tell you that. Once again, let's go back here. let's do it again from the top. All right. I'm gonna make this really, really big. Let's zoom this in. All right. Okay. Your audience. Let's say you're going to Canton, China, and you want to buy some products. You are absolutely 100% going in the wrong direction already. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter, if you want to be like a trader or a hustler, or like these what was this thing? These hoverboards, and you want to buy something like that, and let's say they sell them for 150, and you can get them for 40. Okay, do something like that. But there ain't no way to start a real business. The way that you ask the question, and I'm not beating you up, I'm just stating the fact. You should be focused on who's going to buy the product versus the product. You should be audience centric, not product centric, because once you build an audience, you can sell yourself, you can sell services, you can sell products. So once again, the audience is first, second, and third. I got to keep saying that because there's a lot of people who are still kind of in the hustle mode that I'll go out and get this product. And once again, the storage auction business, I could gamble $100 on the unit because I can invariably find stuff to make me $300 to a few $1,000s out of that unit. It was a totally different thing because I wasn't buying one product. I was spending one money and I was getting dozens, if not hundreds, or in some cases, a few thousand pieces of product. Big, big difference. Hopefully that answers your question. The Vita Jane, what about 30 days? Yes, 30 days would be helpful for any business owner. All right. You already know your audience. I'm going to challenge that. How well do you know your audience? And I got a question for you. Whenever you launch a new product, how fast does it sell? Oh, you have a retail space. Is that your store or are you renting a booth or something? Because I'm going to tell you, if you have a business and you already have an audience and you're selling okay, you take the course, you're going to quadruple your money. Because I have made that same mistake. I know my audience. I'm going to give all these courses away for free. Then the people are going to go out and they're going to make money and then they're going to buy more stuff from me. I knew my audience. That completely failed. So be very careful. Within 48 hours, all right, you're renting. Okay. Audience is everything. Look, Kylie Jenner, there's so many things going on with that. They're trying to prop her up. They were calling this chick a billionaire before she even made a billionaire. And then when she got to $1 billion valuation, then it's very interesting what they're doing with her. But she definitely knows her audience very well. Because part of that is the Kardashian empire. Yeah, because the thing is, let's say you sell out within 48 hours. When I get this together, because it's all in my mind and it's on scraps of paper in here, because you got to know your audience before you can pitch them. And if you know your audience, then you really get to know them. You can increase your average ticket sale. Let's say you're selling $20. You really get to know your customer. You can sell them $100. Same customer, because I forget the guy's name, Jay Abraham. There's like 4 ways to make more money: sell more products, increase the cost of your product, something else, but I'm not sure. So if you already have a robust audience, and that's what it sounds like, then you want to increase your ticket sales. You want to increase the average size of what you sell. Stefan, many of us are trying to lead the direction of the boss, but being a business owner, you get a new boss. Yeah, pretty much. Instead of one boss, you'll have thousands. But the thing is, there's beauty in that, because instead of one boss, you have thousands. So if 2 bosses fire you, you still have 998. So it's definitely a different ball game. I mean, seriously, because like I said, all day it's going to be on audience development, because I want you to think about when you go to school. You go to college, med school, engineering school. How do they teach you? You cannot become an engineer no quicker than 2.5 to 3 years. And that's very fast. You just can't because there's so much to learn. And this is why I had this preamble at the beginning of this, that if you're in a situation where you don't have any money, just go below. There's a bunch of courses, many of them very economical, so you can get yourself some money and get out the hole. Because to build an online business, and when I started this YouTube channel, I worked full time in this business and did not make any money for 6 months. But once again, I was already a business person. I already knew what it took. I knew that, and honestly, I wish I had created more videos. I really do. Because the thing is, once you know that money is made here, but you don't get the money until here. And this is a very hard concept for someone with a job, someone who gets a paycheck. Because, I mean, I went 6 months without a paycheck. I had money saved, but I had been through something similar. I mean, the storage auction business, I started making money much quicker than 6 months. This was my first time, come to think of it, building a pure internet business, because that's what this is. It's a media company. It's 100% internet. But I just knew, based upon educated guess, that it was going to be viable. But I had enough business experience to know that. All right, Davita Jane, you might want to get 30 days to 2,500 as well. There's exercises in there that will help you with your business. Seriously, as they say in these internet streets, real talk, real talk. Because it's a quirky course, but I had a lot of people very successful with that. Because, just to be real, like if you don't have the 249, don't buy. If you got to stretch, you got to beg, borrow, don't do it. Unless you have amazing, unshakable faith in yourself. Because this is going to be a journey. Because seriously, for you to do your audience research, this is not something you can do in a week. Think of a month or two just on audience research. Because, perfect example, when I was writing my relationship book, I went out and talked to 225 women. I didn't just sit here and write this book off assumptions. I actually went out. It was very easy because every woman wanted to talk about it. It's like, hey, this is Glenn Cameron. I'm writing this book on relationships. I want to know what your thoughts are and your opinions. I don't need your name. And they give me that. I met so many women. It was ridiculous. Alexander Haley. Hey, Glenn, I'm 25 years old, went to culinary school. The food business is expensive in GA, looking to sell plates at different workplaces to get started. Food truck. You can get yourself a food truck on the low end, $15K, on the high end, $50K. Food truck. You're a chef, you want to create. Because see, the marketplace is like this. The marketplace is not going to lie to you. If you hey, you worked on this dish, you got this stuff, and you put it out to the marketplace, and most people go nah, man, miss me with that. That means the marketplace does not like what you do. And I don't care how much work you put into it. I don't care how much of your heart you put into it. It's not going to make me money. It'd be a good dish to serve to your friends, and they'll love you a long time. But marketplace, if you're going to be, I can tell you this because I helped someone with a restaurant. It was Le Petit Marché in Kirkwood. I used to live in Glenwood. I told him, I was like, why don't you serve breakfast? Because they were open from breakfast to dinner, but in dinner, no one ever came. There was a bar on the corner that got people, but for some reason, people just did not go there for dinner. I said, serve breakfast all day. Everyone loves breakfast. So she listened. Next week, she started serving breakfast, and I went in there and she said, thank you. This has worked better than anything we've ever tried. Very simple menu, Make it tasty. You don't have to serve 50, 60 different items. If you notice that the most successful restaurants have a very limited menu. So that's what we can get in there. Any more questions? Because I'm going to have breakfast. I'm going to come back and get started on this. Because we're going to be talking about what multi-million, multi-billion-dollar companies do to get started. I know you'll see on Shark Tank. I have a friend, Aaron Marino. He was on Shark Tank. Aaron, just from YouTube, I would say after expenses does $1 million a month. Self-built business, but he is fanatical about his image. He is fanatical about his audience. He's got people who filter his videos. He'll film a video and they say, nope, that's not on brand. He won't post it. So Stefan, I wrote a piece. I got surprisingly great reviews. Yeah, because the thing is, whether you're writing a book, whether you're starting a YouTube channel, where you're doing the Instagram, it is the key to success is nailing down that audience. Like for those of you who know, I started another men's channel. It's growing faster than the first one did. I have a different message, and I can actually go into it. I am not mentioning alpha or beta males. I'm not even talking about that because I learned once again from the last channel that a lot of people get real prickly on those terms because the truth of the matter is only 7% of the population is truly alpha. Everyone else is beta, and no one wants to hear that. I'm a sigma male. I'm this and blah, 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 blah. So we're leaving those terms out because it's a problem. It's a big, big problem. And I just put up a video because the new channel has 360 subscribers. I put up a video the other day. It's already got 1,200 views. This is getting views from outside of the subscriber times three, because I almost got 1,000 hours of watch time, and the channel is only 3 weeks old. So, Alex Hale, food truck is the long-term goal. I'm thinking of what I can do now. Do the food truck now, and I'm gonna tell you why. I don't care if you're poor. This. I'm gonna give it to you. Go ahead and get yourself 2 or 3 roommates, and put all your money in the food truck. You want to become a boss of your life as soon as possible, and the question is, what are you willing to sacrifice to get there? Because you went to culinary school, you got the skills. You just need to go. I mean, seriously, I'm about to be real ignorant. $15K for a business? I mean, if you got a job and you making $2K a month, that's 6-7 months. Cut out all your expenses, get rid of all your bills you can. So you going to do the dream or you going to keep talking about it? Because I've known people been talking about starting a business for 15, 20 years now. Aaron Taylor, if I wanted to promote local businesses, will your courses help with that? You mean you want to start like a social media agency? Something like that? Good Lord. All right. There we go. We get behind this poll. If you want to promote, because I'm not really sure on your question. The Blinding Buddha. I have a cousin who owns a food truck. He makes a nice buck from it. This is why food trucks work. Your overhead is fixed, and it's fixed very low. Once you have that bus, you just got to pay for a place to park it, because most neighborhoods won't allow you to park a bus. But once you sunk that $15K in, your cost of business is buying food and marketing. Thought about meal prep. Okay. I went back to my childhood with the Kung Fu grip. I'm loving that thumbnail. Superstar Customs, Alpha M knows his audience. Even though he had some product failures, he will always have a customer base. Yeah, because I knew that he was going to do the teeth whitening thing, because actually I interviewed him. I'm going to probably put that on the new channel. And I didn't know anything about teeth whitening strips. I know a lot of people like them. Yeah, I mean, the roommate, because here's the choice. You want to start a business. Hold on a second. This is, I'm going to have to fix that. Hold on a minute. There we go. All right. This should be better. Yeah, that's way better. I love this room because it gets flooded with light, but that's a little bit too much. Yeah, I mean, that's why audience is first, second, and third. Whenever I launch a product and it flops, and it'll make some money, and I'll piss off a few people, but if it does not sell a certain way within a certain time, I know it's going to be a flop. And I will euthanize that product in a heartbeat. And many people hate that, but I'm like, I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to make money. And there's some products people love. One of the reasons, here's something else too, with the new mail channel. It's 3 weeks old. It's already made $1,000. I haven't even tried to sell anything. Some people have found the old disruptive mail site and bought products. There's a huge audience there. Let's see. Najee Johnson. Hey, Glennon. About your Hustlers Kung Fu Life Skills, which courses below are not in the Hustlers Kung Fu Life Skills? Did you get H undergrad? Hold on a second. Can I get in there? Let's do this while I'm here. Let's see. Aha. And aha. And no. I can't get in there. I would have to look that up. I don't know what you bought, so I can't say. So, but you know what? Go below the video, and all the courses that are for sale are there. So you can click on the links to see if you have them. For anyone that's looking to get any of the Hustler, Kung Fu, life skills stuff, everything that's done is below. You can get everything for $3.99. That includes every course there. Or you can buy course by course. Some of the courses, the cheapest course is $29.99. And the most expensive course is $149.99. That would be 30 days for $2,500. And then there's the bundle for $3.99. Auto Leisure. I was learning how to program code, but then I realized I'd rather become a reseller. I think, let's put it this way on the reselling thing. I never had $1 million business, $1 million year in the resale business. Close, came very close, 980,000. Just could not elk out that 20. However, profit margins were 60 bad year, 80 to almost 90% in a good year. I made more money, take home money, than people who had multiple $1 million business per year because their overhead was so high. So you can definitely, if you are a smart reseller, and the thing is, if you're going to do reselling, that's a full-time gig. I mean, people are like, oh, you can do it part-time. Not if you want to make six figures. It's going to be full-time. All right, any more questions? And what I will do, let me see. Let me go here. Hold on a second. Let me pull this up because I know some people want to know what the deal is. And it is spinning. It is spinning. All right. Here we go. Come on. All right. So, all right. So this is what you get with the main thing. You get all these courses, or you can go below and get them separately. So that's how that works. And Fat Cat Secrets, got that one. I'll turn that off. Turn that off. Then you got, and that's $25 right there. Then you have, yeah, so essentially you can buy everything for $3.99, or you can just get one course at a time, depending upon what your budget is. So that's how that's set up. Let me see if there's any more questions. All right, looks like we are done with the questions. All right, so this is what I want you to do. I want you to go below and come out of there. There we go. The link to the course is below, and it's currently $249.99. There's nothing there. There will be some stuff there before 5 p.m. today. Then Sunday, because I'm probably going to work on this today and tomorrow. Just audience. That's how deep it is. Then Sunday, for the people who buy, we're going to have a live webinar. So that's how we're going to do it. I have a few assumptions of them, but I'm just not going to say it until I get into it. So this is the pre-sale. This is how you can get in, because it will become more expensive. And probably tomorrow I will do the modules, because this is just, everything here is one module, and there's probably going to be one every month to the rest of the year. So I will have, if you go ahead and buy this one, you won't have to spend the same money. So I'll just give you a discount regarding what you spend on this one, so you won't have to double pay or nothing like that. And then I will probably make out a very generous one offer for all the modules. But see, I have to get them together. I don't have them together because, just a little personal. I've been doing this serious workout. It's like 3 hours a day. And this is my second week. First week, it almost killed me. I couldn't finish it. I still can't do it all in one day. I have to do the bulk of it on one day and then part of it on another day. There's a goal here. There's a plan that I'll reveal later, but it's brutal. And that has really sapped my energy. But anywho, go below, links below, and I'll be back to explain some more stuff. So with that, I wish everyone a good day, and I will see you guys in the next video.